Have you ever felt like you're the only one who's carrying the entire relationship? Not just the chores, but the remembering, the planning, the emotional weather reports, the glue. And still, when you bring it up, your partner looks confused, maybe even hurt, because to them, things seem fine. That invisible weight, it has a name, but more importantly, it has roots. And in this episode, we're going to be digging into these roots. Let's talk about the emotional labor that we were scripted to carry long before this relationship even began. Hi there! If this is your first time here, welcome to the Parenthood and Relationship Podcast. I'm your host, Markella Kaplani, a psychologist, a parenthood and relationship coach, and a parent myself. Together, we explore the transformative journey of parenthood and its profound impact on our relationship with ourselves, our partners, and our children, so that we can be present and show up as we envision without having to do more. Let's get into today's episode. Hello there, and welcome back to the Parenthood and Relationship Podcast. Today's conversation is for anyone who has ever wondered, why am I the one who notices everything, who picks up the slack without being asked, who holds this whole family, this whole relationship together in my head? If you've ever said, they don't help unless I remind them, or I feel like I'm the manager of our love life, then what you're really talking about isn't just work, it's emotional labor. But I want to take this a little bit deeper than just a to-do list. This isn't about who is doing the laundry. This is about the invisible scripts that we have inherited, the scripts that tell us who we're supposed to be in a relationship. The fixer, the calm one, the one who always knows how to smooth things over. We're going to explore how these scripts form, how they keep the emotional labor stuck, and, most importantly, how you can start to rewrite yours. So, let's start by naming what emotional labor actually is. It is not just about taking on more tasks. It is the background mental load, this constant scanning, anticipating, managing, soothing, checking in. It's noticing the tension and deciding that it is your job to ease it. It's keeping the emotional thermostat of the home just right. And the thing is, many people don't even realize they're doing it. They're just used to it. They're used to thinking for two. They're used to absorbing feedback gently, crafting the right tone in texts, tracking the emotional needs of everyone in the house like a silent radar. And if this sounds familiar, I want to pause here and say something clearly. That is work. Even if no one sees it, even if it's never written down. It's cognitive, emotional, and relational labor. And it often falls disproportionately on the person who's been trained to carry it. And I use the word trained very intentionally. So let's talk about that training. Where did we learn to carry this kind of weight? We don't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I want to anticipate everyone's needs while pretending that I'm fine." We become this person, usually long before we enter adulthood relationships. It's different for everybody, but maybe you grew up in a home where things were tense, and your way of staying safe was to be hyper aware of everything that was going on. Or maybe you watched your mother do it all silently and decided that love means sacrifice. Maybe, on the other hand, you were the responsible one, the helpful one, the old soul. And now, years later, you've brought that same part of you into your marriage or your partnership, because that is how you feel like you're valuable and loved. Only now, it's less about survival and more about expectation. You expect yourself to notice the unspoken. You expect to step in without being asked. And when your partner doesn't, you feel frustrated, but also strangely guilty for wanting them to. That's the script, the one that says, if I don't hold it together, we'll fall apart. But then why is no one noticing? So let's take an even closer look. Because underneath all of this, there are unspoken deals that we strike in our relationships. We don't always say them out loud, but they sound kind of like this. I'll keep everything running if you stay emotionally steady. I'll absorb the tension if you don't create more of it. I can be the initiator as long as you don't pull away when I do. These are conditional roles, and they work until they don't. Because over time, they become resented. They become lonely, one-sided. And here's the twist. Most of us never consented to these deals consciously. They were shaped by our history, repetition, and what used to keep us safe. But because you don't choose the script, that doesn't mean that you can't rewrite it. Then how do we begin? Where do we begin? The first step is in naming the role you're playing without judgment. Ask yourself, what role do I automatically assume in the relationship? What's my job there? Maybe it is being the peacemaker. Maybe it is noticing when something feels off and trying to fix it before it escalates. Potentially, it's tracking the birthdays, feelings, tone shifts, schedules, your partner's mood before they even say a word. Trying to keep the balance. Whatever it is, name it. Then ask, where did I learn that this was mine to carry? Did someone model it? Did I have to become it to survive in my environment? Did love once feel conditional? This isn't to point blame. This is meant to help you become more aware, because awareness is what makes choice possible. From there, the work becomes collaborative. What if you each took turns noticing instead of one person doing all the anticipating? What if you asked each other, is this actually my job? Or have I just been doing it so long that no one questions it anymore? Even just naming the pattern out loud can be incredibly freeing. Here's something simple that you can try this week, either on your own or as a couple. Write down the answer to this question. What do I automatically assume is my job in this relationship? Where did I pick that up? Don't overthink it. Let it be messy. Let it be honest. Then, if it feels right, share it with your partner. Not to blame, but to offer insight. To let them see the map that you have been walking, often silently and for years. Sometimes emotional intimacy can come from just speaking the words and saying, I never realized I took this on without asking. I never realized why I did it, but here is where this comes from. You're sharing a part of you. You're not blaming. If you would like more tools like this, gentle, powerful ways to reconnect with yourself and with your partner, you will definitely want to sign up for the Sunday Reconnect. It's my free weekly newsletter, or rather, love letter, and every issue includes one insight, one tool, and one 3-minute reset that you can actually use even in the chaos of family life in order to connect to yourself and to your partner. And for this week's episode, I've created a free worksheet to help you explore and rewrite the invisible emotional scripts running your relationship. You can grab it at markelakaplani.com/newsletter or head to the show notes for the link. Let's change what love looks like, starting with what it feels like. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for holding so much for so long. Who knows? Maybe this is the season where you no longer have to do it alone. I'll see you next time for another episode in our series, Emotional Intimacy in the Chaos of Family Life. Until then, take care of you so you can take care of each other. Bye-bye for now.